Hello everybody and welcome to Soul Work. I'm your host Jeni Cousins and thank you again everybody for tuning in. And of course I have a guest on this week's show and we will be taking calls after our commercial break. And just for you all to write that number down, it's 403-539-6710. So after we take that short commercial break, Calgary, feel free to give us a call. And both myself and my guest can certainly answer calls. And on tonight's show, I have brought in Linda Easthouse to the show. I was almost going to say it a little different because that lady I was just talking about, I heard her name coming in. I'm like, oh no.
You got it right, and I'm delighted to be here with you.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun having you on.
Looking forward to it.
It is. And by the way, everybody, Linda has a lot to offer you all in all different areas. Because we were chatting a couple of minutes ago and I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. So just to let the viewers know, tell me what a natural health practitioner does, what you do, Linda.
As a natural health practitioner, my goal is to help the person identify the areas of their life that need to get healthy. So we look at stresses, we look at diet, we look at emotions, we look at toxins, we look at life, what we call life balance, work, rest, sleep, play, all the things that go into being a healthy person. So we're not so much focused on, oh, I have this diagnosis or I have this illness, but in spite of the fact that you may have those, what are we going to do to make you healthy, and what are the aspects of your life that need to change? So we're looking at a very holistic approach, including their spiritual, because you can't be healthy unless you get the whole body and the whole mind and the whole spirit working together.
Right. It was like a few minutes ago when we were talking about diet. It was really interesting what you said.
Yeah, with diet, there's so much confusion out there because there's no such thing as one right diet. Different people need different things, and at different times in your life you need different things. And so this concept that everybody should be on this diet or this diet's going to do miracles for everybody just doesn't exist. You really need to figure out what works for your body. You need to listen to your body. You need to know how you respond to things and adjust accordingly, and really go with what your body is telling you it needs. Because what we want with diet is to meet the body's nutritional needs without overburdening it with more food than it wants.
Right. Because you're talking about earlier when Linda and I were talking about like the difference, let's say about like weight loss, for instance, right, of releasing the toxins and also releasing the emotional baggage with that. Can you share a little bit about that?
Diet is not just the food you eat. It's certainly not just the calories that you eat.
Yeah.
Because your body stores toxins, and when those toxins are in the fat cells can't reduce until you release the toxins. So we're talking about things like formaldehyde and genetically modified foods and colors and garbage that's in our food that gets stuck in our body, and our body doesn't know how to let go of it. So it stores it in the fat cells because that isolates it for the body. But then you can't lose weight no matter what you do. But on the other hand, we also have the emotional drivers behind diet. Why are you eating? What's causing you to eat the wrong things, or causing you to overeat, or causing you not to eat on the other hand? And until you deal with those emotional issues, you won't be able to lose the weight and keep it off. You might be able to lose it by force, but it won't stay off until you've dealt with the emotional issues as well. So there's all the stuff around food, but you have to deal with the emotional stuff, and you have to deal with the toxic stuff in order to have a long-term weight loss. Because
as I mentioned to Linda earlier, I wasn't hungry a couple of weeks ago. I just wasn't hungry really, so I was just having chicken broth, and I only lost 0.6 like ounces type thing, and I'm like, what? And I was talking to Linda about that. And can you share with our viewers why that is?
When you don't eat enough food, when you're on way too low a food, the body goes into starvation mode. And when it's in starvation mode, it turns off the metabolism, and the food you eat is all stored because it's afraid it isn't going to get any more. And so you have to feed your body enough food that it thinks it's going to be satisfied, that it's going to get its nutritional requirements, and then it will start to metabolize and burn. But as long as it's in what it considers to be starvation mode, you can eat 300 or 400 calories a day and not lose weight.
That's right. And that's exactly what I was doing. And then this week I was eating all healthy, normal food. And I was down a few pounds, and I'm like, oh my God, I was shocked.
Because your body went out of starvation mode into regular metabolism. And that's where these yo-yo diets can be really, really damaging, because people go on to really low-calorie diets, and they lose the nutrition. Their body's not getting the protein and the vitamins and the minerals that it needs, and it goes into starvation mode, and no matter how little you eat, you won't lose weight. And I know I did that when in college. I went on to Weight Watchers at one point, and eating 1,000 calories a day like they suggested, I didn't lose any weight. In fact, I gained weight on their diet.
Wow.
And so I thought, well, if that's too much, then we'll go back down to 500.
Right, wow.
And I did 500 calories a day for about 3 weeks, and I actually gained weight on it.
Oh, my Lord.
So clearly the starvation mode kicked in. The body said, oh, we're keeping every little morsel of food that you get. We're going to put it on the body because we're going to need it because she's starving to death. So when I went back to eating normally, I lost weight.
I learned that.
So, you know, you can't not listen to your body. If you don't pay attention to what your body's telling you, you're not going to have good results.
And that was like, that gave me an eye-opener today when I told you that. So that's why I thought, you got to get this out, because I know there's a lot of people out there who struggling with their health, and diet's always a big issue and stuff like that. And I just, before I forget, I want to share your book.
Thank you.
With our viewers, because your book is #1, isn't it, on Amazon?
It made #1 on Amazon. Yes, very pleased with that.
Can you share with our viewers a bit about your books, because you've got a couple more over there as well?
I do. Pushing the Reset Button was written basically to speak to my kids. I have young adult kids who, as they move off onto their own and start to put their own lifestyle together, you know, they kind of make some mistakes. They don't eat right. They don't take care of themselves. They kind of end up in trouble. And it's like, you know, I've told you this all your life, but now I'm going to put it in a book where you can read it and pay attention to it. And so all the things that you want to teach young people and young adults about how to live healthfully is in that book. And it's set up to be a 30-day plan.
Really?
But I know most people can't do 30-day plans. So in the 30-day plan, it's divided into 5 strands. And you can do just one of them for 30 days and then do the next one for 30 days.
That's wonderful.
So it's designed to be bite-sized, one little thing that you can do every day that will help you move to a healthier lifestyle that you can maintain long-term. The one thing I hate to see are these people who do this 30-day challenge, whether it's a 30-day yoga challenge or an exercise challenge or a diet challenge. They go like crazy for 30 days. They do something that's completely unsustainable. At the end of 30 days, it's completely gone. They never carry on with it. That's not what we want. We want people to build sustainable lifestyles where they pay attention to how they're thinking. They pay attention to how they're feeling. They pay attention to what they're eating through their exercise. And in the book, I give you lots of little exercises for mental processes, for toning your energy. Most people have no idea how to get themselves centered and balanced and feel, you know, together rather than scattered. And there's lots of little exercises that you can do in there. Of course, I threw in some chocolate balls too.
Oh, excellent.
The healthy kind that you can actually eat without any regret.
Excellent. So if somebody wanted to get like your books or get in touch with you more, to book an appointment, and I highly recommend it, because I just before we go into commercial here, I want to tell you something. Like when Linda and I were chatting a few minutes ago, before we came on the show, this, like, I learned so much. I really did from you with a few things with nutrition and health. I highly recommend you get her books. Her book. What's the best way?
Well, it's on Amazon. You can get it Kindle or paperback. It's also at Self Connection Books. I always love it when people drop in and buy their books there. We love to support Self Connection.
Yes.
You can pick it up at my office in Hillhurst. I'm just north of the river in Hillhurst. Anybody can drop in and pick it up there as well.
Excellent.
And my website has all the links to it. You're welcome to go hit the website there.
Okay. What's your website? Quick.
easthousecenter.com. So just like it sounds, East House Center, but center is spelled the Canadian way, so it's RECENTRE.com.
Excellent.
So easthousecenter.com.
Excellent. So write that down, Calgary, because there's so much on Linda's website. And we are going to take a short commercial break already, right? And as soon as we come back, we're taking calls. And that phone number is 403-539-6710. Right back.
paramedic. We need to know what you're allergic to.
Ma'am, can you tell me where you live?
Sir, have you been taking heart medication?
Do you have any allergies we should know about? Can you tell me who to call?
If you're unconscious, you can't answer the simple questions that could save your life.
Great. He's wearing medic alert. Noah, everything's gonna be okay.
Medic Alert. Speaks for you when you can't.
Your whole life, you've fought your own battles. You've fought the norm. You've fought for equality. And today, we need you to fight again. Because in Canada, more people develop multiple sclerosis than anywhere else in the world. So, what will you do? Flee or fight?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Soul Work. I am Jeni Cousins, and we're live here on Shaw TV. And my guest tonight is Linda Easthouse, and she's a natural health practitioner and amazing. We just showed her books. And I just wanted to ask you, Linda, and by the way, here, Calgary, we are taking calls now, 403-539-6710. So feel free to give Linda and I a call, and we'll help you out as we can. So now you've been doing this for over 10 years now. Mm-hmm. What got you involved with this or interested to follow your path?
Well, it's really my kids' fault that I'm doing this.
Oh.
I have 2 adult boys,
yeah.
But as children, they were allergic to everything. My oldest one was allergic to everything you could breathe, and my youngest one was allergic to everything you could eat. Mm. And so between the 2 of them, we spent a lot of time dealing with that. And I came from a background of natural health. My grandmother was a chiropractor. We did all the diets. We did the no sugar, the no colors. We did all the herbs. We worked with one of the top herbalists in South America, et cetera, et cetera. And they'd get a little bit better and they'd drop right back down. And they're life-threatening kinds of allergies. Mm-hmm. When we moved to Calgary in 2002,
where'd you move from?
We lived in South America, in Peru.
Wow. Oh, really?
My kids were born and raised down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was quite a change to move to cold Canada.
Wow.
But when we moved here, we met this fellow who does what's called health kinesiology. And he was actually just a student who was doing a little bit on the side to help people. It was his ministry. And he heard the story of my kids. My oldest one was on a soccer team, and we were playing up on the school on 16th Avenue there that's ringed with cottonwoods. Well, we drove up there one day to drop him off, and it was just white with cottonwood. Oh, wow. And he got out of the car and went racing across the field to join them and collapsed in the middle of the field from the cottonwood allergies.
Oh, wow.
And 5 emergency trips later, this guy, because he was at my work, he came and said, I'd love to help your kids. Why don't you bring them over and see if we can do something for them? So off we went to see him, and it was the first I knew of health kinesiology, which is a wonderful introduction.
Yes.
Within 3 months, he had them both off of their puffers and off of their antihistamines, which, they'd been on them since they were tiny. And 6 months later, they had no allergies left. And to this day, my oldest one has no allergies. My youngest one has a little bit of cat allergy that, he doesn't care if it's fixed, so he doesn't get it fixed. That's the way it is. So about halfway through that process, I said, I have a couple of allergies. Can you fix mine? He said, sure, no problem. So I did a session. He did the whole session. And at the end of the session, he goes, by the way, your thyroid doesn't work. I go, I know. It's never worked. I've been on thyroid medication my whole life. Nothing new.
Wow. Okay.
So would you like that corrected?
Really?
After he picked me up off the floor, I went, sure.
Exactly.
And so 2 sessions later, it was like a switch turned on.
Really?
My thyroid zoomed up to normal. It's been normal ever since.
Wow.
About a week after that session, I stopped taking my medication, which I was on the highest dose they make, by the way.
Wow.
Didn't tell my doctor. 3 months later, because that's how often you have to wait, I went in and had it tested. Didn't tell her I wasn't taking my medication.
Wow.
Because she'd tested it so many times.
Exactly.
And, tests came back, everything's fine, no worries.
Right.
And then I told her, I haven't taken a pill in 3 months. And she said, let's redo those tests.
Yeah.
So we redid them a few times, and we kept, after 2 years, I said, we're not doing any more tests. It's fine. I don't need them anymore. And along that process, it was, I need to know this. I need to learn this. So I started the training. At that time, no one was teaching in Calgary. No one was teaching in Canada, for that matter.
Oh.
I went to California to start my journey. I ended up in England and New York for the rest of it, and
wow.
eventually got certified and started doing this, and loved it ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing how your children kind of brought you to your soul's destiny and your purpose and everything. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey to see how it's worked through my family with my own experience, and then to be able to share that with others. And now I actually teach it here, so anybody who wants to learn can learn here in Calgary.
Exactly. So. I know, because I know like many years, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, long story short, I went to my doctor and he was going to give me hysterectomy, and I'm like, oh, no, you're not. And I just kept on hearing, go to acupuncture. And I had never gone before. So long story short, I went for acupuncture, one treatment, and I was cured. One treatment, and I had some natural organic herbs, and I think I only took like 2 of them, and I was fine.
Yeah.
And everything, and ever since that, it opened up my eyes and my beliefs of just how important holistic, natural,
and health kinesiology
more treatments are. Yeah.
Is built on top of traditional Chinese medicine.
Yes.
We take the best of traditional Chinese medicine with the best of modern Western natural medicine, quantum physics, put them together and create a way to very quickly reset the body, reprogram what it's doing, whether it's on a physical level of allergies, or whether it's on a mental level, whether it's on a emotional level. All that stuff can rapidly be reset.
Exactly. Now we have a caller, and I'm hearing health issues with this one. Now our caller is Fred. Fred, do you have a question for Linda and I?
Yes, Jenny, I don't really have a question right now. I just wanted to thank you for your program. I enjoy it tremendously.
Oh, wow.
And keep up the good works. Well, I should probably will contact you on your website to get some help from you.
Oh, well, thank you, Fred.
So have a great evening.
Thank you, Fred. I look forward to it. Give me a call.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Fred. That's wonderful when you hear, when you hear people phone in and say that. It's nice, actually. Thank you.
Lovely.
It is nice, actually. And now you also help people manage, let's say, like your stresses and such like that. What recommendations would you suggest for that?
We always say we need to manage stress. Yeah. I don't believe in managing stress. Yeah. Managing stress means you're going to keep it and hold on to it and make it a little better or do something with it, but you still have it.
Yeah.
I want you to let go of your stress, shut it off, and not have it.
Right.
We don't need those stresses. In our modern world, too many things trigger us too often, and we need to learn how to shut down our fight and flight. And there are very simple ways to do that. And they're pretty permanent once you learn them. And so I like to teach people how to shut down those stress responses so they don't need to have the stress in the first place. Once you shut down the stress response, then you can respond to the same situation in a different way, and suddenly you're able to do things you weren't able to do before, like stand up for yourself or say no or make different choices, just because the stress isn't sabotaging you anymore.
Exactly.
And so it's really all about learning how to shut down the stress responses and make different choices.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we do have another caller as well. And our next caller is Pat. Pat, hello.
Hello, Pat.
Hi.
Hi. You have a question for Linda and I?
Yeah. I've been off work since March, and I have fibromyalgia and chronic pain, but I have kind of managed it. But the thing is, I was sick for 3 months after that, just throwing up and diarrhea, and nobody seems to know what it was.
Right. Actually, what I'm really feeling is coming out from that again. It's your body's releasing a lot of different toxins that it's been holding itself in with that. So it's like a release for it, right?
Yeah.
Fibromyalgia is really a combination of 3 things. You have a lot of allergies, which don't respond as normal allergies. So instead of, getting a runny nose or a sore throat from it, or, a tummy upset from it, your joints are responding to it instead. So you're getting an allergy reaction that isn't typical, but it's still an allergy reaction. So we need to look at the allergy stuff and change that. Then fibromyalgia has an emotional component. There's always a trauma somewhere. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a big, huge trauma, but there's a trauma that's stuck, and it just keeps firing your emotional system over and over and over until it's worn out. And so you want to look at those. And then the third one is the nutritional component. Your body's not absorbing the right things. You might be eating the right things, but if your body doesn't absorb those right things, then you're nutritionally depleted. So we need to change the way your body absorbs your food and allow it to get the nutrients it wants. So as we work on those three things, fibromyalgia basically disappears. And I've seen that happen over and over.
Oh, let's try that.
Yeah, see?
Well, go to the website and get in contact with me, and we can talk some more personally on that.
Oh, I will do that.
Super.
Can I ask a question, though? Another one was, where do I go from here, like for work and stuff? Am I going to be able to go back to work or do something like that?
I don't see you going back to work right away. I honestly don't. Right. How long has it been since March? I don't feel that you're going to start going back to work till about springtime, to be really honest with you. I could say tomorrow, but I'm really not feeling that. It's like, because things happen for a reason. So I really feel that Spirit is giving you this time right now to clear up these health issues. Right, and to clear out these toxins from your body and everything like that, because it's almost like a whole new beginning. And August, I keep on hearing. I see you actually out by water and like fruit trees and that. So I don't know if you're going out to the Okanagan or you're going somewhere.
I hope.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
yeah. So it's like that, right? Your time frame right now is clearing out your body and getting it more healthy, and you will do that. You will do that, because when we stay focused on it, because this week here is a time for some clearing. So drink a lot more water too.
Oh, I love my water.
Yeah, drink a lot more water and even put a little bit of lemon in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that will help clear you out too, because we got some solar flares going on right now, right? And we got the, the super moon, so it's going to affect a lot of different people with their sleep patterns right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you could be feeling more tired, more energetic, and, more headachy. So drink a lot more water as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is your opportunity with Spirit right now to ground yourself.
I'll do that. I'll try anyhow. Anything to feel better.
Yes.
I would add to that, you need to be adding a pinch of pink salt, like the Himalayan salt, to it, because that's very grounding. And right now we also have this meteorite coming through with the meteorite showers, and that can be very tough on a body physically. It interferes with our electrical field, and so a little bit of salt and minerals will really help as well.
Yes.
Oh, and where can I get that? At a health food store?
Just as long as it's pink Himalayan salt, you can buy it in a lot of places these days, but a health food store for sure will have it.
Oh, okay. I'll give that a try. I know I got those salted lights, whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's good to run those. Those set off a good vibration in the house that will be grounding and helping, but I just feel like you need a little bit of the salt as well.
Okay. About how much do you take that?
I would just say literally use your fingers and take a little pinch and put it in every glass of water you drink.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
You don't need very much, but you do need it.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, not like a couple of tablespoons.
Yeah, please no. You probably want to aim at a total intake for the day at about a quarter of a teaspoon.
Okay.
You don't want to exceed that amount.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes.
And I thank you very much, both of you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So one day at a time, take advantage of the energy right now to get your health working on. Clearing things out so that way you can move in next year in a whole new beginning with everything.
And start to notice how you react to different foods. Yeah. Pay attention to when your pain comes and what you ate a few hours before that. You need to start listening to what your body has to tell you rather than just feeling the pain. Ask yourself, okay, what did I eat that might be affecting this? What emotions was I processing? What was I thinking? What anger came up? Pay attention to the relationship between what you're doing and how you're feeling.
Okay, thank you, Pat. We actually have another call right now coming in. And thank you for calling. And we have another caller right now on hold, and that is Candace. And we only have time for a real kind of quick question. And Candace, you have a question for us?
Yeah, I'm just dealing with grief and PTSD, and I'm wondering what recommendations you have to help work through that.
What about you, Linda?
In my book, there are actually several exercises that you can do under the energy section. There's one called an emotional stress release, and there's one called a belief system elimination, better known as BS elimination. Just little things that you can do for yourself to settle those down and to turn off the responses to them. I do work with lots of PTSD people, so I'd love to see you in the office. We can do a lot deeper work, but things that you can do for yourself are in the book and also on my website. If you go to the resources, there's some self-help videos where they actually demo those things that you can then watch how they're done and do them for yourself.
Yeah, okay. But the grief in that, you know, everybody also deals with grief on different levels in different ways, right? And I always, you know, tell everybody, don't be hard on yourself. Right? Like last year I had 14 people pass away on me and both my dogs in a year. So I understand what grief is all about. So, you know, it's all about everybody handles grief differently, right? And don't be beat up yourself, you know, one day at a time, right? You know, to help you work through that energy as well, right? Because you do have a lot of energy around you right now. You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very much watching over you. So just hang in there. Like, for instance, I light a lot of candles. I do every night, all the time, anytime. So, you know, I do recommend it to people to light candles because candles attach and they bring in a lot of spiritual energy to you. So they flicker. Like here they flicker a bit, but, you know, we got lights and everything going on too. But normally, you know, if you want to sit there and meditate on that, everybody will hear you. And I'm feeling a feminine energy coming in, very much so.
Yeah, I felt the angels carrying me through.
Yeah, they're very much with you. There's a big female presence with you, around you, right? So just talk to, you know, anyone that has passed on. And I'm getting the wrap-up sign here.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're already at the end of the show, but one day at a time, right? Don't be hard on yourself. Like I said, I can't express myself more than enough to say that, right? Because everybody handles things differently, right? So thank you for calling in, Candace. And I especially want to thank my guest, Linda. You've been, you know, amazing on the show, and, you know,
pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm your host, Jeni Cousins, and I will be back next Wednesday night, live, 6:30 p.m. Shaw TV. Take care, everyone.
Good night.
The proceeding was a community access program. Shaw is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit shawtv.ca. Opinions expressed in this programming do not necessarily reflect the views of Shaw or its employees. The following is a community access program. Shaw is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit shawtv.ca. Opinions expressed in this programming do not necessarily reflect the views of Shaw or its employees.